So on the 16th of December, we fought a war. We were in a small minority.
Okay.
300 against 10,000.
Okay.
And at that stage, we made a covenant. We asked God if He will give us the victory, we will keep this day as a Sabbath. And for the past 186 years, we kept it as a Sabbath. And it's the 16th of December. We'll do it again this year.
Oh, it's every 16th of December.
Every 16th of December, we celebrate as a holy day, as a Sabbath. Yeah.
And who's this guy?
This guy is the man who made the covenant. His name is Sarel Sillier. He was the pastor, or the man who led in the prayers. Yeah. And then the military leader was called Andries Pretorius. Okay. And so they were fighting that battle.
So I have this question: what would you tell to somebody who would like to visit Orania?
Yeah. So Orania receives about 10,000 tourists every year. I think if you visit Orania, your viewpoint should be to be respectful to the inhabitants and to try and learn from them. I think we can give something to the rest of the world if they want to learn something. We are friendly people, and as far as people respect us, we definitely do respect them as well.
Welcome to Orania. We are here in Orania.
How arid this area is, right? It's one of the driest places in the country. Yeah. It's also one of the most scarcely populated areas in the country. So
most populated?
Scarcely populated.
Oh, okay.
Oh, scarcely.
I didn't see anyone.
Yeah.
Scarcely.
So it's a very scarcely populated part of the country, and it's very dry.
Yeah.
So back in the 60s, the government realized that the Orange River, which was at that stage not a sustainable river, could be made sustainable by building dams. And the people who built the dams was located here in a temporary working camp, where the engineers and the project managers and everyone and the workers and everyone stayed. They evacuated the town after the completion of the project, and it became a ghost town. And that's where our founding fathers bought the lands in 1991. Right. Basically because no one else wanted it. The government at that stage offered this ghost town to the military, to the police, to the corrective services and so on. No one wanted it, so they put it up for auction. Okay. And that's when we bought. Now, so Orania was established in 1991, but very importantly, the Orania idea was not established in 1991. It's much older than that. Orania, the idea of Orania, is actually older than the town. So this town was founded with intent. It was founded with ideological purpose. The idea existed, and then the reality was made. Right. So Orania is firstly a goal-oriented community. So founded the community in that fashion, and in 1991 moved in here. It was a ghost town. It was chaotic. It was there was no economy. There was no basic services. It was a very tough time for the pioneers to come and live here. From then, Orania expanded a lot, both economically, financially, in terms of population and so on. It now hosts about 3,000 inhabitants, but very importantly, it grows every year with between 12 and 15% of population. So you got an influx of people, which is obviously a positive side for us.
How many people were the founding fathers?
I think about 10 families, 10 to 30 families. Say about... I think after there was about 50 or 60 people in the very beginning, but after about 2-3 years, about 300 people living here. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So after the town was bought, it took us quite a while to raise the 1,030,000 rands necessary to buy the ghost town. Shortly afterwards, we realized that agriculture was going to be another priority. So we invested the funds that we have left into buying some agricultural property, just here to the west. And one of the first big projects was to get water there, because it's Karoo, it's dry, it's arid, there's not much you can do with it without water. So this pipeline that you see here was one of the first projects that we did on our own. It might seem small and insignificant now. It was a major project back there. Actually, the two guys who did all the welding on this pipeline, they were kids, basically. They were still in school. They were 15 years old.
Wow.
They were sent on a welding course in another city in South Africa. They learned how to do specialized welding. They welded the entire pipeline. And when their buddies at school had gone holiday in December, they had to go back to school and catch up with the holiday time in the schoolwork. But this pipeline made it possible to start with irrigation.
Can we just stop somewhere here?
Yeah, I'm going to drive in closer.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that. So this pipeline is a lifeline for us. We can irrigate. We have agricultural activity around that. Now, as I said, the Orania idea. This is very important. I'm gonna just give a moment so that everyone understands that very, very clearly.
Yeah.
The Orania idea, right? So most people know about the apartheid history of South Africa.
Mm.
Our history is older than that. We as Afrikaners, the people that live, the Afrikaner people, we call ourselves Afrikaner or Boer is an older name for us. The Orania idea, what we are doing now, is older than the height of apartheid. The first document that I have where the intellectuals that started this idea was debating it, starting to have some symposiums and conferences about it, is in 1952. And it started with labor. So the most important thing for us, the three founding principles of Orania, and if you only remember this from this entire trip, it is what makes Orania different from the rest of South Africa. We believe we must have our own piece of land. On that, we must build our own institutions, not be dependent on the state, but build our own institutions to look after ourselves. And thirdly, we must do it with our own labor. That is not the norm in South Africa. In South Africa, I'm going to say it how it is, cheap black labor is readily available, right? So people, and now that the South African workers are not really falling for that anymore that much, people are bringing in people from Zimbabwe, from Malawi. They work for 100 rands a day and so on. In Orania, and I think there's an argument to be made that Orania turned the colonialist idea and the apartheid idea upside down by saying we are not going to continue with the practice of contracting out all our physical labor, cleaning, working in gardens, building our houses, stuff like that, to another nation in general. We do all our own work. It is, I think, the most important aspect of Orania.
So which means that everything is being done by the people that lives in here.
Absolutely.
Because one of the things that, especially when I was in Cape Town, one of the things that I really saw was the fact that you will see like a white neighborhood and the people that are working in there are like blacks. I mean, blacks in terms of even South Africans and also people from different part of Africa working in here. So are you trying to say that kind of perception or that kind of, how do I put it?
That kind of narrative.
That kind of narrative does not happen in Orania.
We turned it upside down, 100%. We said, well, I think that is one of the big mistakes of our past, right? To say, there's a few reasons for it. First, we want to make our own decisions politically. So we can't say, well, if we want to have a Christian community, an Afrikaner cultural community and so on, and make political decisions for ourselves, bring in other people, but take away their right to vote. That's not fair. So they can do your work, but they can't vote in your elections. That's not fair, right? So we say, we do all our own work. So there's a demographic reality to that. And there's also a thing, we misuse no one. And no one can say, well, we built your future and you just used us for that. No, we will do all our own work, clean our own houses, scrub our own toilets, build our own gardens, farm our own farmlands, everything we will do ourselves. So that is, I think, the most important aspect of Orania.
I think I want to ask the rest of the question out of the car.
Okay.
Doesn't make sense.
I just wanted to give you that context.
Yeah, no, I have an idea now. I think we'll have a very good conversation now. So I think you guys have been misunderstood out there. I think I never did any research before coming in here. I just wanted to come, just find things for myself and ask you all the questions that I need to ask you. So I think I have a bit of perspective of what happens in here. So I have more questions now.
100%.
Yeah.
What you will find in Orania is we are not constantly on our knees begging everyone for forgiveness, saying, oh, we are so sorry that we are who we are. We have a history, like all nations have histories, but the steps that we have taken is to not misuse people and to build our own future. And I think that's very important. So we're not the same as, I think there's a lot of people living in very grand estates out there in Cape Town or Johannesburg, criticizing Orania while simultaneously doing things that they are actually criticizing us for. acting much more racist than Orania, actually acting much more, giving certain work only for certain races and things like that. So Orania is a new system. That's the most important thing, is a new system.
Are you trying to change the narrative about apartheid?
About
Apartheid, what happened in the past because of what you say?
we're not fighting for a better past. We are fighting for a better future. We're not trying to change the past. The history is what it is. We are not working to go back to 1976. We are going forward on a new system. So we are proud of our culture. We're proud of who we are. We are rooted in our identity and our Christianity, but we're working towards the future. We don't speak much about apartheid. There's no reason to go out and say, a lot of people think we want to return to apartheid. That's not the case. We want to create a future where our culture is preserved and continue on from there. So that's important. On the note of labor, on your left-hand side, you will see pecan nut orchards. There's about 16,000 pecan nut trees in Orania. It's planted already in the early days.
Okay.
For two reasons. One, the climate is good for pecan nut production. And two, labor-wise, you can mechanize the entire process. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but they clamp the stem of the tree, they shake the tree, and all the nuts fall off, and you blow it into rows with big fans on tractors, and then the harvester come and fix it up. So you mechanize the process, you automate the irrigation, things like that. And most of our nuts go for the export market in China, so we export the pecan nuts to China. Cool. All right.
Where comes that name Orania? What's the origin of the name Orania?
Orania. Well, actually, I might not answer this one correctly because Orania was named Orania before we bought the town.
Oh.
So we bought the town from the government.
Okay.
The Department of Water Works, I think it's called in English, Waterwese in Afrikaans.
Okay.
And when we bought the town, it was already called Orania. And it has something, I believe it has something to do with the Orange River and the canals that were built. Yeah, part of that. Yeah.
So you didn't want to change the name, you just kept the name.
Yeah, we kept the name, Orania, yeah.
Okay, and why this location, Northern Cape?
This location, it's quite interesting because there's a few disadvantages of settling here. For the first part, as we can feel, it's extreme temperatures. It's very arid, it's very dry.
Yeah.
It gets very cold in winter, it gets very hot in the summer. The ground isn't that resourceful, it's dry ground, it's hard to plant.
Yeah.
But it's a piece of land that because of these things, nobody really wants it. When the town was originally sold, they struggled to find a buyer for it.
Yes.
So the founding fathers, so to say, who bought the land, saw potential in that.
Yeah.
It's a place with low demographics, a place that nobody really wants, but with high potential. We have the advantage of being close to the river, and we have the advantage of being in a place with low demographics, which means we will be left alone to develop our own land. It's not a place where we are stepping on anybody's toes. It's further away from other places that people would like to settle themselves, maybe. Okay. So that is the main reason,
Because a lot of people, when they hear about South Africa, Afrikaners, they think of the Western Cape, and all of a sudden they are settlers. People are having their own town, their own land, their own currency in the Northern Cape.
Yeah.
And I always ask myself, are you looking forward to become like a country on its own, or you just want to be like an estate within a country and live your peace?
That's what Orania is doing is it's building the reality.
Yes.
So you can label it as much as you'd like. I can stand here today and say we would like to be our own country and we would like to draw some kind of border somewhere.
Yeah.
But those things are abstract. What Orania is doing, we are building the reality first.
Yes.
So we are building a community. Let's call it a community before we call it a community where we can work our own farmlands, we can build our own institutions, where we can have stuff like our own symbols, our own cultural days and stuff like that. But building our own country is giving it some sort of label that maybe that's a dream, maybe that's what we are working towards.
Yeah, it goes.
But
through
what we're doing is we're building the reality first.
Yes.
You don't need to label it beforehand. It's not necessary. We're building the reality where our people are safe, where our culture is preserved, where our language is preserved, and so forth. Yeah.
Okay. Why did you decide to have your own currency?
The currency thing is quite interesting, and I think we will talk about it later on the tour as well.
Okay.
But just for quickly, if we
what is
the currency itself is a coupon system. So the currency is a coupon system.
Okay.
You're not allowed to create your own currency in South Africa. But what we did is we created a coupon system where, first of all, it's a note that has our own symbols on it. We'll show some of it to you later. You can even buy and take some of it with you.
Okay.
But it has our own symbols. It feels nice to use. It's like an Afrikaner, Orania piece of paper you can use. The other thing is it keeps it safe. Nobody will steal these notes because they cannot use it somewhere else. So it's free to use. Nobody will rob the bank to buy a lot of, or to steal a lot of. What else?
Outside Orania is just papers.
Outside Orania is just papers.
It's just papers.
The other thing is, as we are distributing this piece of paper, this coupon, it's backed by the rand. So for every 1 rand or 1 ora, which is the currency's name, for every 1 ora there is in circulation, it's backed by a rand in a bank. So while we are trading with these worthless pieces of paper, those rands are gaining interest in the bank, and that interest can be used to develop the community again. So it's a nice little way for us to gain some money as well. Obviously, we get tourists and people from outside buying. They want their own coupon to take home. So that's another, for every 10 rand you buy your own note, it's 10 rand coming in and nothing going out.
That's
and the other thing people generally don't or is misinformed about in Orania is that we only use this currency, which is not true. We use rands as well. We don't only use our own currency. It's just like an added bonus to use it.
So are you looking forward to expand the land?
I think so. I think that's always in our minds.
The population is growing.
The population is growing, although at this time it's not a priority, but we're always looking towards it. But our priority at this time is develop the land we already have. One of our biggest challenges is that we have a lot of land that is undeveloped with like no infrastructure at all, and we have to do everything ourselves. We have to develop these lands, put in irrigation, put in the pipes, the electricity, everything ourselves. So that is the biggest challenge. But we're always looking to expand land as well. Obviously.
And what are the requirements if any Afrikaner want to move into Orania and be part of the Oranian citizen?
Well, the best way that I would describe it is it's basically the same process of, just to understand, it's the same process as if I would become a European or American or Australian. That citizenship progress or process, and it's not necessarily like a tick box. Like if you tick this and tick this and tick this and tick this. But you have to understand that Orania is a cultural project. It's more than just a town, or it's more than just the safety in the community or the friendliness. It's a cultural project for Afrikaners. So yes, we do want to be only Afrikaners in Orania because we want to preserve that part of our culture. So the process for anyone is welcome to apply to live in Orania, and each application is handled individually. But for me to define in a checkbox list exactly what Afrikaner is impossible. I don't think any philosopher has ever defined exactly what a certain culture is. It's always up for debate. So that is quite interesting. So the best answer I would give is anybody can apply. In each case, its application is considered individually. But I think there are a few things that we are Christian, we are Afrikaans, we speak Afrikaans, we have certain holidays, we have certain traditional practices. It's quite obvious what is an Afrikaner and what is not. So
Christianity is a must. If he's Afrikaner, Muslim, or
well, that's the thing about community, right? Like, no one is going to come into your house and kick down your door and say, "You're reading the Bible today." But it's a cultural community, so it's culturally it's accepted that we are Christians and Orania, and that's the way we would like to keep it. So it's not like a draconic police state where you must be Afrikaner. We're going to test you every Sunday, or if you're Christian or if you're Afrikaner. But the cultural, the vibe, if I can say it like that, we are Afrikaners.
So all the people who moves in here, do they have to own a piece of land, or you have some people who are renting inside here?
Well, me myself, I'm renting right now, so I don't own land. So no, it's not necessary. You have to become I think to stay more than 2 months, you have to become like you have to go through the application process. But no, you have renters as well. We call this monument here. We have a few busts. leaders throughout Afrikaner history, South African history as well.
Okay.
And then in the middle, we can later go look at the symbolism of how there was back in the different leaders, historical figures form a semicircle around the small giant, the Klein Reus, which is our Orania emblem. The idea is semicircle is our past, it is behind us.
Okay.
They all look forward. We do not look backwards to the past. We all look from the past forward to Orania, which is the future. Yeah. Also, part of the symbol is on this hill. The historical figures cannot see over the hill down to the town.
Yep.
But the small giant, which is the Orania emblem, can see the future, which is the town. So our past is the past. We do not forget them, and we remember our history.
Okay.
But the future is through Orania. Yeah.
Okay. What the meaning of the child holding the shoulder?
That is our emblem. This child rolling up his sleeve.
Oh, he's rolling up his sleeve. Okay.
He's standing and rolling up the child. We call him the small giant.
Okay.
It is because Orania is small. The idea is, but the idea is big. So Orania is still small. We are still developing, but the idea is big. So the small giant, or in Afrikaans, the Klein Reus, standing is rolling up his sleeve, and he's rolling up his sleeve because he's ready to do his work. And that became our symbol, that became our flag, and that's why we have him on a monument here as well.
I'm happy to be in Orania. Whenever I'm here, I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's a great place to be. So thank you for that. It's a lovely question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Where do you come from?
I live in New Zealand.
Okay.
I live in Dunedin, New Zealand.
Okay.
So that's 1 million miles away. It's actually 12,000 kilometers away. But I'm actually visiting Orania just at the moment. It's one of my favorite places to visit when I'm in South Africa.
Oh, it's not your first time visiting Orania?
No. I try and come here every time I come and visit.
Wow.
I come and stay for a month at a time.
Yeah.
Just to immerse myself in the lovely warm weather.
Yeah.
And in the lovely people.
Yeah.
And the lovely scenery. It's an exciting place to be.
Yeah. And what is your experience after?
It's only been very positive.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Okay, sorry.
Being brutally frank with you and absolutely honest with you, I'm not saying this because I have to. I'm saying it because I want to.
Yeah.
My experience is positive. The people are so friendly. Everybody, when I drive my little rental car, everybody waves at me. They wave and they acknowledge me.
I've seen it as well. They are very welcome.
They are so welcoming. They don't know me from anywhere. I'm a stranger from New Zealand. The other thing is, I don't lock my car when I'm in town. When I'm getting my supplies at the supermarket, I don't lock my car.
We left our belonging in the car until now. It's still there. The camera, the thing, and we have nobody's touched.
Nobody's interested in taking my stuff, and I have all my shopping in the back of the car. It's there for everybody to see. So to answer your question, what's your experience like? It's absolutely fantastic. And I will say this to you, even in New Zealand where I live, I lock my car. Wow. I locked my car in New Zealand because I don't know who is wanting to take my stuff. But this is probably the only place in the world where I do not lock my car and my stuff is inside the car. People are friendly. The scenery is gorgeous. I love the weather because New Zealand is freezing cold.
Yes.
So I come here and I wear shorts.
It's very warm,
It's very warm here. And the other thing I like about it is that there's a wonderful attitude amongst people. There's a lovely spirit of building. Everybody's building. Everybody's working on a building site.
They are working for their own community.
This is correct, yes. So there's this lovely sense of purpose.
Yeah.
And oftentimes purpose is something that one misses when you travel in the world. There's a lack of purpose in life.
Yeah.
These people seem to have found the true reasons for forming a little village, and their purpose is to build. And I commend them for that. I wish
I've
New Zealand was more like
I've
that.
learned a lot from them as well.
Yes,
Learn a lot.
indeed.
It is. It's very educative.
I have learned so many
To
lessons.
see people coming together to build their own community, develop it, and generate resources, financial resources from them, and invest it among them.
Yes.
It's very impressive. Very impressive.
I say yes, and I say amen to that very statement that you've just made now. And I experience the same thing. These people don't wait for anyone to do anything for them. Yeah. They do it themselves. If there's a job to do, they do it themselves. Yeah. And again, I refer back to New Zealand. In New Zealand, people tend to wait for the government to build. Yeah. They wait for the government to do. No.
Yeah.
Don't wait for the government.
Yes.
You get to wait for a long time.
Yeah.
Do it yourself. And that is my experience here, is that people do for themselves. So I'm a big fan of Orania. I'm very, very impressed. And I take a lot of the lessons of the village, I take them away with me. I take them in all of my travels.
Yeah.
This place is always in the back of my mind. What would they do? How are they dealing with issues? How are they dealing with problems?
Yeah.
They're very positive people.
Very
These Oranians, they're very positive. They see solutions. They don't see problems.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful lesson for life.
Very impressing, very positive, and
Indeed. And I commend you for that, because one can have honest eyes or you can have dishonest eyes. One can come here with an agenda. I've made up my mind. I don't like this place, and everything that you say and see will support that point of view. But if you come with honest eyes, if you come with an honest heart, and you say, what's going on here? It's a miracle to me. It's a wonder. It's a miracle of productivity, of people focused, of teamwork. So I can go on and on and on because I'm on an exciting subject now.
I get you.
I don't want to prattle on.
It is very stunning, actually. It is very stunning to see what they have achieved and
Indeed.
what they are going through.
Yes.
They're going through like so many hardships. It's not easy to build this sort of community and all this infrastructure. Only 3,000 people.
Yes.
It's not easy.
And they're not wealthy people. They're not rich people. They're not, they're just average, everyday South Africans who are making a living, trying to make a living, and trying to contribute to the advancement of Orania and the community at large. So that is commendable. That is commendable.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
What is your name?
My name is Dave.
Dave.
D-A-V-E.
Dave, thank you very much.
It's an absolute
really
pleasure.
Appreciate
Thank you for asking
the conversation. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I just want to know how you solve issues whenever there are differences amongst the community.
That's a good question. I think it's an important question to discuss because Orania is not heaven on earth. You know, many people like to describe that Orania has no faults, or Orania has a perfect settlement, or some sort of safe haven without problems, which is not true. So we do have our own problems, our own internal conflicts, our own internal discussions, and generally how we solve them is by discussing them. We have a culture of coming together and discussing these, and these discussions can get heated somewhat. People don't generally people don't necessarily agree on everything, but we are packed together. People get emotional when they are striving for a common good. They get emotional when they are invested in something together. So how do we solve them? I wouldn't say that we always do it. Yes, people differ. People have, but we are where we are today because of those discussions, because of that free speech, so to say, by allowing people to voice their opinions, and also very importantly, we have a free market system in Orania, which means that if you differ, you are free to do your own thing. If that doesn't work, then it's dictated by the free markets. To say so. So that is pretty much how we do things.
Yeah. You have sometimes like a community meetings where you discuss things about your community project, differences, and
yes, we do have that. We are standing right now at our municipal offices.
Yes.
And whenever there are something implemented or power lines need to be there's maintenance being done on power lines or water irrigation or whatever, email will be sent out. There's open discussion. There's open channel for discussion. You wouldn't find in Orania where you call the municipal office and they would tell you the system is down or they cannot help you right now. The phone just keeps ringing. So that is pretty much. And then if things need to be escalated, where people are unhappy, then there's community discussions about these things.
What happens if somebody in this community wanna get married to an outsider? Do you go into reviewing who is coming in the community? Or?
Yeah, well, basically, anybody who wants to live in Orania have to apply to live in Orania. So you have that citizenship or that residency.
Yeah.
So it's handled. It's, as I said, every application is handled individually. So it's not per family or per spouse, or it's per person. Each individual has to do their own application.
I thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
This is quite insightful. So
yeah, no, it's fun to talk to you.
Thank you very much. We are done with Orania. The last but not least, it was very, very stunning experience here in Orania.